So, Chapter 1, Our Constitution, Total History and Civics. So, let's get into the chapter. So, this is Class 9 Syllabus, Icse, and it is Total History and Civics. Again, I am saying it is the latest syllabus. You could see the book over here. So, let's start. So, first of all, we have to know what is a constitution. In all the examination, this question will come. So, a constitution is a comprehensive document which contains the set of rules that describe the rights and duties of its citizens and the manner in which the government should govern or it must govern the country. Okay. So, I suggest everyone to study the definition by heart better than writing in your own words. Okay. So, that is very important. Why? What I say? Learning definitions, as it is very important. So, again, it is a comprehensive document. So, what it is, and next what it contains? It contains a set of rules. And what it describes? It describes the rights and duties of its citizens, we citizens of India, okay, and the manner in which the government must govern the country, okay. It is saying in which the government governs the country, okay. This definition is there in your textbook in page number 122. For more reference, you could check in that too. Okay, next we are going to learn about the enactment of the Indian Constitution. So, we have already studied in the freedom movement of India, that is in the last chapters, that is in the grade 8, 7 and all. We have studied it in the freedom movement of India, and that the cabinet mission arrived in India in 1946 and put forward a set of proposals to meet the demands of the freedom fighters. So these things you have learned in the last classes, okay. This is 9th grade. So in 9th grade you are gonna study more on our constitution, that is this chapter. So in 1946 the cabinet mission arrived in India. It is important, the dates are very important, okay, and that are same. Next is one of these proposals involves setting up a constituent assembly. So the cabinet mission thought to set up many proposals, and one of those proposals was to set a constituent assembly, and whose members, like the members of this constituent assembly, were to be elected indirectly by the provincial legislative assemblies, that is the lower house only. And the elections to the provincial assembly were completed by July 1946. That is the first elections. So it was completed by July 1946. These dates are very important. And the princely states were represented by the members nominated by the rulers of the states. So you know that in the undivided India there were many princely states, and these princely states and the kings of there elected some people, and these people represented their states. And the Constituent Assembly of Undivided India consists of 389 members. So how much members it consists? 389 and 292. So this 389 they are saying by dividing into various categories. So in the 292 were elected, and 93 were nominated by the princely states, as I told, by the kings and other members, and the 3 from chief commissioner provinces and 1 from the British. How? This is not that important, but it will be important for you in the future. And the Constitution of India was framed by the Constituent Assembly. That's important. It was framed by the Constituent Assembly. And next, the formation of the Constituent Assembly. So they are saying that the Constitution of India was framed by the Constituent Assembly. Now let's check how this Constituent Assembly was formed. Then only we need to know the roots of the Constitution. Okay. So the first sitting of the Constituent Assembly was held on December 9, Like the first sitting, again I'm repeating what I have told already to you. So the first sitting of the Constituent Assembly was held on December 9, 1946. I'm repeating it as it is very very important. And it was held at the present Central Hall of the Parliament, and it was presided over by Dr. Sachidananda Simha, the oldest sitting member of the Central Assembly. This may be coming as one word of like Dr. Sachidananda, but it is not that important, but as one word it might be important. Okay, so it is good to learn these names. As we told at the Central Assembly. And on December 11, 1946, Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected president of the Constituent Assembly. So like when was Dr. Rajendra Prasad elected as the president, it will come, then we have to write December 11, 1946, Assembly 1946 or December 1946. It's up to you, but if they specify which type of it, then you have to write it. Okay, he was the first president, I think so, you may know it. Then what is the use of being in 9th grade, right? Okay. Then the Muslim League boycotted the Constituent Assembly to demand creation of a separate state called Pakistan. Creation of Pakistan, such things you have learned in grade 8 below itself. There's not much to learn. And again, consequently, the members representing the territories which went to Pakistan withdrew from the Constituent Assembly of India. And as a result, the membership of the Constituent Assembly of India stood at 299 against the original number of 389 members. Of these, 284 were actually present on November 26, 1949 and appended their signatures to the Constitution as finally passed. And Dr. Rajendra Prasad continued to be the president of the Constituent Assembly of India. Even though you know about the boycotting of the Muslim League and the creation of Pakistan and such things, 89 members were turned to 284 and they were only present at that time, and they made the constitution to pass. And yeah, Dr. Rajendra Prasad still continued to be the president. And next, between December 9, 1946 and August 14, 1947, the assembly had 5 sections. Okay, so between the first day the assembly has been formed until the August 14, 1947, that is a day before the India had gained its independence, the assembly had 5 sessions. And next we are going to learn about the composition of the Constituent Assembly. If you have any doubts, don't hesitate to comment in the comment box. Okay. The wide-ranging membership of the Constituent Assembly gave representation to all shades of public opinion. The cabinet mission plan had ensured representation to only 3 categories, that is the general category, Muslims and Sikhs. The Congress leaders had however ensured that other communities like Anglo-Indians, Indian Christians, SCs, that is scheduled castes, and STs, that is scheduled tribes, also got representation. So this Constituent Assembly and the Cabinet Mission Plan had ensured representation to only 3 categories, that were the general category, Muslims and Sikhs. But Congress leaders step into it and ensure that all the communities like the Anglo-Indians, Indian Christians, scheduled SCs, STs, and everyone got the representation. So the Anglo-Indians were represented by Mr. Frank Anthony and Mr. S.H. Peter, the Indian Christians by Dr. H.C. Mukherjee and Joseph D. Souza, and the Parsis by Dr. H.P. Modi. Okay, so these names are not that don't come in the exam, that's for sure, but it would be necessary for you in the future in other exams. So though the Muslim League had boycotted the assembly, there were still 2 members, Zafar Imam and Muhammad Saadullah, who represented the Muslim community. So even though the Muslim community had boycotted, that we have learned in the before years, even though they had done that, 2 people were still remained as the members of this Muslim committee. They were Zafar Imam and Muhammad Saadullah. This is a little important, 10% important makeup. So the 6 were represented by Sardar Hukum Singh and Ujjal Singh. Yeah, these things are not at all important. And it can be said that the Constituent Assembly was truly national in character. Okay. So this is very very important. Okay, objective resolutions, the questions used to come with this. So when the Constitution So when the Constituent Assembly started the work of drafting the Constitution, Mr. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru proposed the objective resolution on December 13, 1946. Very, very important. Okay. December 13, 1946. Okay. Again, December 13, 1946. Okay. The resolution highlighted the objectives and laid down the national goals. So these goals are very important, and it is what I say. It is necessary to study it by heart if you want to get full marks. Okay. So free India will be nothing but a republic. This concept, then the ideals of social, political, and economic democracy would be guaranteed to all people. Then the republic would grant fundamental rights to citizens. Then the state would safeguard the rights of minorities and backward classes. So these four are very, very important. Okay. So the objective resolution was passed by the Constituent Assembly on January 22, 1947. So don't confuse both the right. One is proposed and the next is passed. Okay. One is proposed, that he thought to make it, or it was already done, but it was passed by the, he already made it, but it needed to be passed by the Constituent Assembly for coming to the people. That was done on January 22, 1947. Okay. And next is the drafting committee. So the Indian Independence Act 1947, this act is very important. Okay. 1947, by which two independent states of India and Pakistan were created, recognized the existence of the Constitutional Assembly of India. So this legal sanction was enabled by the Constituent Assembly to function after India's independence. The Assembly became a sovereign body. To carry on its work, it appointed 8 committees. So it appointed 8 committees. So the drafting committee under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, this is very important. It was set up on August 29, 1947 and was entrusted with the task of drafting the Constitution. So from here to here, it is very, very important as it concerns the work of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and about the Constitution. Okay. Next, Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, popularly known as Baba Saheb, was one of the architects of the Constitution of India. So this is very, very important. Okay. From here to here. He was an eminent jurist, economist, politician, and social reformer. The text of the politician and social reformer. The text of the Constitution prepared by Baba Saheb provided for constitutional guarantees and protections for a wide range of civil liberties for individual citizens, including freedom of religion, the abolition of untouchability, social rights for women, and system of reservation of jobs in the government services for the SCs and STs. They are, again I'm saying, scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. So in order to shape India into a complete sovereign democratic republic in which the liberty and dignity of the individual is ensured along with national integrity, Baba Sahib incorporated the following principles in the Constitution of India. So these principles are very, very important. Okay. So study any, what is it, 3 or 4. 3 like for an average sort of marks, like what is it, 90 and above, and for 4 if you want to get full marks. Okay. So the questions will come for 3 or 4 marks. We don't know from which part it will go, and as they are given 5 of these points, so we are not that confirmed from which part it will come. Okay. So it made Indian Constitution workable, flexible, and strong enough to hold the country together both in peace and war. This you can make short and steady, but certain points should be there. Okay. Certain points should be there, and it provided special safeguards to the minorities and certain classes, okay, who are socially and educationally backward, and it incorporated the right to constitutional remedies to ensure the fundamental rights of the individuals are not infringed by the center or the state governments. And next is incorporated directive principles to ensure social and economic democracy and welfare of the people of India. Okay. So any 3 of, as I told, 1, 2, 3, 4. And why I said not to learn this, because like it is like little big and it will be like not that easy for you to understand. So okay, so as I said, this point, and this point is very necessary. Okay, so for this we can say that made Indian Constitution. He taught, or he incorporated the following principles, and like making the Indian Constitution workable, flexible, and strong to hold the country both in peace and war. Okay. And next, he also helped them to provide special safeguards to the minorities and certain classes. Then he incorporated the right to constitutional remedies. Then he also incorporated directive principle. So try to make it like little small, certain things which I am gonna say you. Okay, not everything, like never try to make this objective resolution and all small, but certain things that we can do it. Okay. And next is about the readings and all. So the draft was discussed by the Constituent Assembly clause by clause since November 4, 1948. Thereafter, the draft underwent the second reading, which was completed on October 17, 1949. It was followed by the third and the final reading, which were completed by November 26, 1949. So this November 26, 1949 is very, very important. Okay. Which I am underlining that is important, but it is not very, very important. Very, very important are those ones which I am putting a bracket in those. Okay. And time taken. So it took nearly 3 years for the Constituent Assembly to finally pass the Constitution. At that time of its signing, the Constitution consisted of 395 articles and 8 schedules. So this is very important, the time taken. Okay. And implementation of the Constitution. The Constitution adopted and passed. These things after signing. This thing for you. Just take C. Rajagopalacharya became the Governor General. He replaced Lord Banted. Such things like one word, type of one word. Rajendra Prasad was the first president. Like such one words. The other all is not that important. Okay, so cross it. But check the one words. The one words are necessary. Okay, certain one words it may come. Okay, it may not come. And next is significance of January 26. It's very, very important, as I'm saying. It's very, very important. Okay, so the date January 26, 1950 for commencement of the Constitution was specially selected because of its historical importance. If you write this 1 point, you will automatically get 1 point, 1 mark. Okay, so next we are saying that what is that historical important, that is at the Lahore session of the Congress held in December 1929. You have read about Purna Swaraj and all in your last grade 8. Okay, and a resolution was passed which declared Purna Swaraj or complete independence to be the objective of the Congress. Okay, so Lahore session of the Congress held in December 1929. Said it is very, very important. So January 27, 1930 was fixed as the first Independence Day. And next, which was to be so celebrated every year since then, the day was celebrated as Independence Day up to 1947. On achieving independence, 15th August 1947 became the Independence Day. January 26 was designated as a Republic Day. This thing is not that important because all the points that are here are actually the one that you have learned from lower classes. Okay, and over here the important points I will say: this Constituent Assembly elected, it is important. Then first session, it is important. Then the objective resolution that both proposed and passed is important. Then a constitution passed and adopted, that is important. Then when it came to be effective, it is important. Then about drafting committee set up. Okay, so these are 1 2 3 4 5 6, so total 6. Okay, this is very important. Okay, so only this much, there's nothing more. So thank you. Just get up to see more of my videos. Okay, that much only I want to say. So thanks for watching.